finally making a start on a project that I've been meaning to do for a very long time. I'm going to try and sort out the storage in my workshop. So at the minute, just behind me, you can see I've got the CNC, I've got my dust extraction, and I've got kind of some useless shelves in the back. I'm going to clear all of that lot out, but before I do that, I've got to clear all of this lot out all the way around. My plan is to add a new work surface at the back of my shed with room for my router table as well as more storage space. I want to say a huge thank you to Mycket, the creators of Magnet Driver, for sponsoring this video. They sent over their new drill, drive and nail set as well as a snaker. The bit holder fits on your wrist as well as your drill or driver. It's a great way to keep all your bits at hand. The snaker is ideal for those awkward spaces you need to get into. It can twist into almost any position. The magnet driver bits themselves will be a huge help on this project. You'll see just how useful they are when working alone on larger jobs. In the case, there's also a handle and bit holder, a larger magnet driver sleeve for use on 25mm bits, as well as a handy nail holder to save your fingers when hammering in nails. There's a link in the description to where you can get them, but also they very kindly gave me a 25% off code. So at checkout, if you use the code JOE25, you'll get 25% off your order. With the back of the shed clear, it's time to make some sawdust. The first task was to cut down some plywood for the work surface and to clad the bottom half of my shed. I added some blocks of CLS in place just to give me something to screw the 6mm plywood to in the corners, as there wasn't any studs. As you can see, the magnet driver bits make it a lot easier to hold the piece in place with one hand and drive the screw in with the other. I tried out the snaker on the other corner and was really surprised by how well it worked. I thought using some expanding foam would work well as insulation, but it didn't expand half as much as I expected it to. At least it's fire retardant. Now it's just a case of screwing the 6mm plywood to the back. The framework took down from the CNC table will be reused on this project. I cut the CLS to make a batten on the back wall and the right hand side. I also cut pieces to make two rectangles that will act as legs to create shelf space. Again, the magnet driver bits helped me a ton when getting this batten held in place. Rather than putting the rectangle legs together first, I thought it would be better to construct them in place, less chance for an odd fit that way. Screw construction like this on its own isn't very sturdy, but with the plywood top and boarded sides it'll be solid. The plywood work surface is 60cm deep by 210cm long. I doubled up the pieces of 18mm plywood to make the top thicker. The gap on the left side will be for sheet material storage. The first piece of plywood was screwed to the batten and the legs. The second sheet was just screwed to the first sheet of plywood. When this piece gets ruined, I'll be able to easily swap it out for a new one. I tried to reuse as much material as I could on this project. The hardboard side panels from the CNC table worked great at boxing in the legs. With the basic construction taking shape, it was time for paint. I did ask people on social media if I should go with a light or dark colour, but my heart was set on dark. I needed a little shelf to stop bits from falling down the back of the wall. MDF was ideal for this. I cut 3 strips at 70mm wide, added a round over profile with the router. I then cut out notches with my jigsaw so it would fit around the studs, then painted 2 coats of white undercoat, another 2 coats of magenta, not pink, magenta acrylic paint. The first grey in the shed wasn't dark enough, so I mixed in some black paint until I was happy with the colour. Before adding the shelf in place, I first gave the work surface 2 coats of wax stain. I don't know how well it will hold up, but it's better than nothing. For a bit of a backdrop, I added some laminate flooring. It's easy to wipe clean if need be and looks great. I got a damaged pack from a local hardware store. It's always worth having a look in the clearance section. I held them in place with screws and will hand tighten them later. Now the pink, magenta shelves can be put in place. I know, measure twice and all that. It's a shed, so it'll do. Now to get the space filled. Next job is to try and sort out the lighting, but for now, I'm happy. I'm really pleased with how this is looking now. Just working on this back wall has already inspired me a ton to try and get the rest of my shed sorted out. So I'm hoping that this video will act as inspiration for you to try and maximise your workspace too. Before I go, I want to say a massive thank you to the guys over at Magnet Driver for sending me the bits and for sponsoring this video. Don't forget, in the description down below, there's a link to where you can get them. And if you use the code JOE25, you'll get 25% off when you order. You can't go wrong with that. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.